Hello, and welcome to another thrilling, chilling, something episode of Give It a Shot Mystery Box. Today, I've got the usual 5 videos that go into the box, and only one comes out. And so, what are the contestants this time, you may ask? Well, here are the returning challengers. The Secret World of Benjamin Bear, Lessons to Learn. Last time's newcomer, Wacky and Packy. Your guess is as good as mine. Rainbow Rangers, Help is a Rainbow Away. The Dance Exercise and Fun for Kids, Kidiosyncrasy. That's just gonna be a shit show, I already know it. And then this newcomer for this episode is Eevee, Wizard in Training. Sure. So, all 5 are in. Now we get to shake up the box and see what shakes loose. What? I'm not doing a dance this time. I think that's good enough. Alright, what do we got today? Oh, goody. It's Wacky and Packy. I don't even want to push you over. This just sucks. Ugh. Hello. Welcome back to Give It a Shot. I just watched something that I'm not even going to take a shot at. I didn't even bother to fill up the shot glasses. This does not deserve any shots. So, spoiler alert, but there's a reason. Packy and Wacky. How can I put this delicately? In a way that I can explain this. Packy and Wacky sucks in the modern era. I don't even want to waste. I got PewDiePie G Fuel here that I don't even want to waste on this, okay? And it's not because this is terrible in any specific way that I typically rant and rave about in these bits. It's something more. And it's not even worth taking the shots to justify anything. Like, when I take shots, it's for comedic effect. Because there's something that's like, if I could drink alcohol, this is what it would deserve. This does not deserve jack and or shit. This... Oh, God. Okay. Where do I begin? First of all, Wacky and Packy came from a cartoon block from the 1970s. In fact, this was from 1975. It is a collection of shorts, basically every short they ever had, because they only lasted one season with this other stuff that they were associated with. And, alright, how am I going to break this down? Let's just try to make sense of this. So, the overarching narrative is Wacky and Packy are caveman and woolly mammoth living their life in in prehistoric times, and then through some wacky coincidences are now in modern times, which modern times for this is 1975. So this is a 50-year-old cartoon working on a television budget, which that animation in that time is really cheap. Television animation is, it's for kids. There's no real budget for this stuff. And boy howdy does it look like it in this. And so all this is a collection of the shorts, and they're all adventures. I sat through a few before I said, you know what, I can't do this anymore. Because I'm not going to waste my time, and I don't want to waste your time with bland bullshit. So, let's just talk about them. First of all, none of these shorts have titles. Just whoever wrote them at the bottom. That's it. There's no title for any of this. So, I can't really describe this stuff in any real tangible way that you could, if you wanted to look this shit up, you could watch it. Read it. That would be hilarious. So, the first short that I watched, and this is pretty much how every Packy and Wacky short starts. They're hungry.
I tell you, Packy, I am one hungry caveman. And there's nothing to eat.
Because they don't have anywhere to be. They don't live anywhere. Apparently the only thing they care about is going home. Which, Wacky, as soon as you say he says home, or anybody says home, Packy starts crying.
Actually, the dirt around here is tastier than the dirt at home. Home. I want to go home.
That is just a trope that fat fuck has. So, what do you do when you bring a caveman and a woolly mammoth to modern times? Well, you put them in situations where they can use their Neanderthal know-how or whatever to do a thing. And so the first one, they're hungry, and they see a weird dinosaur, which happens to be a crane that's shoveling dirt. And they think, oh, if that strange dinosaur is eating dirt, the dirt has to be good. So they run over and they eat the dirt, and they're disgusted by it. And then the thing picks them up and throws them into a football stadium, and they land on a football player who happens to be a quarterback, who is also a parody of Joe Namath. Which, if you don't know anything about football, he was a big name in the 70s. He won Super Bowl III with the Jets. He basically was like the first football player to really make celebrity out of football. And so they're making fun of him. And so, like, his nickname was Broadway Joe, and the guy that they have as a parody of him is called Bowery Joe, which I know is somewhere in New York City. So that's what they went with.
Why can't beautiful girls leave me alone, Coach? Why?
Because you're a star, Bowery Joe.
And the coach sees this guy, he sees Packy and Wacky, and like, you guys, you took down Joe. You're going to be on the team now. And they just throw him in the middle of a game, so why not? And through a series of stupid events, Joe tells Wacky what to do, and it's all wrong, but Wacky ends up doing the things to make sure that the team wins the game. And they do. Whoopee. And at the end of it, Joe's still upset that he doesn't have a job now, but then he's thrown into this whole thing about, Packy and Wacky are now endorsing a product, which I think was supposed to be Brute. And Packy sprays Wacky. I just don't give a shit. I'm getting their names confused. I don't give a shit. And it makes his hair look all spoofy. And this leads to the end of it, the punchline, which is Wacky screams at Packy, one of these days, right in the kissa.
Packy, one of these days, pow, right in the kisser. What I do?
Which is an allusion to, which is a reference to the Honeymooners, which that's always been a thing in cartoons for the longest time. Everyone thought that was funny, so they still use it. And Wacky finishes always up with, what did I do? What did I do? And that's just a trope throughout. You're going to hear, there's a couple of tropes, and I'll get to more of them. Not that you really need to know moving forward. So, that was the first short. Whoopity-doo. Second short. They're homeless, living in boxes, and they're hungry. Sounds familiar? They go looking around, and they smell food. It happens to be at a zoo. And they see that the zoo animals are getting steaks, and they're like, hey, can we get some food? And they're like, well, yeah, sure, we never touch this stuff. We're tired of steaks. So they come in, and then they're like, well, we're going to leave here shortly. And everyone's like, no, you're not. Because this guy, Clunker, because that's the name you want to have, is the guy who basically makes sure the animals don't escape. Like, this is not how zoos are run. Like, they have a zoo security guard, and this dude's like the prison warden or some shit. And he looks at them and he's like, you two aren't leaving.
Hey, you two! Come here! Now, I'm warning you, nobody escapes while I'm around. You got that?
First of all, if you're the jailer, we'll just say that, and you saw a human being and a woolly mammoth sitting in a zoo cage, that should not be your first response. Your first response should be somewhere along the lines of, what the hell you doing in here? And then throw the human out and maybe keep the woolly mammoth and do something about that. But no, he's just like, you're not gonna escape. The duo try to escape a couple of times. The first time they try, they end up getting stuck in like a circus cage. And they try again, and then they get stuck in basically what amounted to the hole. They were put in isolation. The rare moment of self-reference, like they got meta, was when it was a whole joke about the sneeze trick, which is something they used a lot. They recycled that particular bit like 4 or 5 times in this short.
We gotta figure a way out of here. How about the old sneeze trick? I can't take any more of your sneezes. We gotta think of something else. Hey, how about the old sneeze trick?
And they did it again. And when they got out of the hole, they ended up in a prison. And that's just where it ended. The third short that I sat through before I said fuck it was, don't know the title of this because there was none. Packy and Wacky are hungry.
What was that? Sorry, Wacky. It was only my tummy growling. I'm awful hungry.
As they do. And they're walking by stereos and radios and televisions. And they see a steak on TV, and they're like, ooh! And then this salesman comes out, because this is back in the day when people actually gave a shit about, trying to sell you radios and televisions. It's like, hey, I'll give you some food, or feed you food for your soul. He brings them in, and he's talking to them about this equipment. Packy eats a radio. I think in this short he ate 2 radios, and he hasn't learned that it's not exactly tasty. And this is where shit kind of got interesting. The salesman turns on the television, and there's wrestling on. Okay, Wacky ends up falling in love with one of the wrestlers. Because the wrestler, I think his name was Horrible Herbie or something like that, had long blonde hair, and he was trouncing on a dude. And Wacky is like, I need to get this dame.
Look at her, Peggy! Just like the girls back home. Home? Yeah!
Or whatever the hell he said. And the salesman's like, I mean, if you want to meet that person, they're down at the wrestling arena. And he's like, Wacky's like, that's my kind of woman. I'm like, oh dear God, this is a little interesting. And they try to address it a little bit. The salesman's like, she's not a, he tried to like explain that, you know, that's a dude.
You're nuts. You don't know who that is. That's Horrible Herbie, the wrestling champion of the world.
I don't care what her name is, pal. She's my kind of woman. Big, tough, and beautiful.
But you don't understand. He's,
Never mind. Where can I find her?
And so, you know, it doesn't really go anywhere. Semi-progressive, I guess. I don't know that, you know, a dude fell in love with a dude in 1975. You don't typically see that. And so, you know, they go down to the wrestling arena and they end up meeting Horrible Herbie. To which, you know, the person who was originally scheduled to wrestle Herbie was somebody called Caveman Kowalski or something like that, who looks, amazingly like Wacky. The manager for the Caveman is like, hey, yeah, you could do it. Yeah, you do it. Because the original wrestler is like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to fight. Fine, whatever. I don't know why you're in wrestling. You don't want to fight. So he goes in there and Wacky gets the shit kicked out of him. And as usual, Packy saves his bacon and somehow, some way, I don't know, I blinked. Wacky becomes the heavyweight champion. And it ends. That's all I could take. These were rough. They were bad. So bad. But I also have to remember, this is television animation in 1975. This is Filmation. And so I shouldn't be expecting anything crazy. Like, it's in the same ballpark as Hanna-Barbera. They're using the exact same sound effects. I mean, the same techniques. There is a lot of corners cut in this. Repeated assets. Same jokes. The jokes that are constantly repeated are, one of these days, pal writing to kiss her. What did I do? Packy crying every time he said the word home. Like that constitutes, like, just that dialogue alone constitutes like a third of everything that I saw in this. It was a slog, and I really didn't watch a lot of this. I really didn't. Like, I was just hoping this would be, you know, kind of, you know, neat, convenient chapters, but it wasn't. As soon as I put this in, it just played. I don't even think the thing has like a menu. It just plays. And I should not be shocked by that, because this is an East-West DVD. Note how thin it is. With their name at the bottom, East-West. Like, I'm pretty sure this is interactive menu my ass. Like, when your features are interactive menu, color, and compatible with all DVD players, like, that's it. Jesus. And 3 Hilarious Adventures? No, it's not. It's a whole bunch of shorts. You're lying, East-West, but I don't expect anything less from you, because that is what you do. This is not for all ages, all children of all ages to enjoy. East-West Entertainment is a bunch of liars all the time. It's what they do. I They got this on the cheap. I'm pretty sure everything in here, even back when they, made and printed this, they don't have a date on this. I don't think there was one on the DVD either. It was public domain, so they didn't pay for anything. And it's just terrible. I'm trying. I'm really trying to be nice about it, but I can't. It's a bunch of tropes, which for children in 1975, it was stuff they were familiar with. Broadway Joe, wrestlers, it's just bad. I can't sugarcoat this. You know what? That's why kids back then were outdoor kids. Because what they had for entertainment was absolute trash. That's why they went out and, riding bikes and blowing shit up and around the creek and all that stuff. Playing around in junkyards and shit. Because if you had to go home and watch this, it'd be like, fuck this. I'd rather be outside. Because no, absolutely not. Like I said, I didn't even want to waste G Fuel PewDiePie's flavor on this. For God's sakes. That's how worthless this is. It's a waste of time. God, I got nothing for it. It's no shots because it's boring, bland, and dumb. It offers absolutely nothing. It's so derivative. It is referencing stuff that children of the time would get. And thankfully, I understand it, which I don't know if that's telling me that I'm old or educated. Probably just that I'm old. And it's not worth anybody's time. I actually, when I was looking at stuff up while I was watching this, because again, I got bored out of my skull. You could watch all this shit right now on YouTube. I wasted $1.50 or whatever on this. I could have done something more constructive with that $1.50. I don't know what, but I could have. I don't even know what you can get for $1.50 now. It's actually worthwhile. Maybe some like Little Debbie's or something. I don't know. Cause this, no. No shots. It's bad. I mean, the voice acting. That's what really drove it to me. Especially the coach in the first episode.
Keep going, Wacky. Don't stop there.
That was... So that's all I've got. No shots, no nothing. It's all bullshit. Bye.